Why not? Hello, everyone. I am Jaclyn Luongo, Director of Sales and Business Development for PDO Max. I'm so excited. We have a guest here today, Daniela Woerner from Addo Aesthetics. And Daniela, please just share with us a little bit about your program for Addo Aesthetics. And we're going to do a little interview and talk about some of the high points of the value of how we're affiliated and what we're doing for our accounts together in synergy and making such an impact on the market.
Well, hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited for our continued partnership with PDO Max. You guys have been wonderful in the past year, and I think that we've really, in coming together, been able to support our mutual clients in a way that we couldn't do on our own, and that's a really beautiful thing. The program I think you're referring to is Growth Factor. So, Growth Factor Framework is a membership program that we have. It's built around our framework, the Growth Factor Framework, which is sales, social, systems, structure, so that you can scale. So we have all of these pillars of the foundation where we're really teaching you internal operations for spa. So we believe that as the CEO, we want you to have the ability to become work optional. We want you to have the ability to sell your company if that's the right direction for you. And we really focus on a high touch program where we provide you the coaching, the strategy, and the done for you resources. It's almost like having a franchise business, but it's your own business. So that's what we love doing.
Excellent. And you have some affiliated partners. We are one of them that you do recommend the service or the product to your Growth Factor members. And we're so proud to be part of that very select group. So I thought I'd start with asking an example that you may have within your members of the success that AfterGlow and Glowpin has had on maybe the revenue and even the offerings in their treatment menu for one of your Factor members.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want to highlight something that you said first about our kind of limited partners, because I think that that's a really important thing to just to be aware of. So we chose after almost a year of really getting to know these companies that have the same core values as us and really focus on relationship and really focus on service and value and all of these just really important foundational pieces. We had, quite a few options of companies that we could have worked with, but we chose to go deep rather than going wide. And we chose to work with PDO Max. You and I have a history. I love relationships with people. I love understanding. I love like knowing someone on a personal level and a professional level because it just it's just more authentic. It's you really are able to get real work done. And so I was really excited and really honored when PDO Max wanted to partner with us as well. We both had that desire. And so we did decide to come together and create a special offering for Growth Factor. So our Growth Factor students or PDO Max clients, when they join Growth Factor, they have a unique offer where they will get 2 vials of Afterglow with 10 glow pins. And that's over $3,000 worth of profit that they're getting for free right off the bat, which shows the desire of PDO Max to want to support their clients and help them, grow as a company. Because we all know that if the spa owner is thriving and doing well, it trickles out. It benefits all of us. Our companies will grow as well. So when we focus on the results of our clients, it ultimately benefits everyone, right? So with this incredible offer that our clients have, to with the free product, the $3,000 worth of, with the glow pins and the afterglow, on our side, we've been working with them and saying, how can we, really make this work in your favor? How can we really focus on profit? How can we introduce this to your clients? And what I've seen most often is through events. Now, a lot of times spas are bringing this in, and it's the first time that they're bringing something like this in. And so we'll host either a mini event. We've actually had both, where we've had spas that have done a mini event, and we've had spas that have done kind of a larger open house style of event. But we are working with them directly to create offerings around these services, to introduce it, whether that's doing it, in a mini event where you're offering the initial treatments at a lower price and then selling packages. You're getting that product so that even that lower price is still pure profit for you, allowing you to generate more revenue. But it's, within the first month, it's not uncommon for a spa to double that and, be and more than double that right off the bat, which is a really good feeling when you're bringing something new into your practice.
Absolutely. And with that, it's two SKUs. So, a few different ways that I've seen some of your members implement this is they start with that free product and they'll maybe get on a Zoom with me and do some sort of training and inspiration, even though they have access to so much in the portal. I'm always there as an extra layer of support as well and talk about it on an aesthetic level. And they're doing treatments and doing trainings as to each other so that they're experiencing with those 10 glow pens and the afterglow vials, they're getting the results on themselves and really feeling what they're giving to their customers or their patients
Yeah.
and their guests.
And
So
we
I've
actually
seen that.
have a PDO track call inside of Growth Factor.
Mhm.
So it's just for track members to go through. And you guys sent me some of the afterglow and the glow pins. And we've had two or three calls where I was like, well, I tried it with this and then I tried it with that. And Christy, who's an incredible member of our team, I dermaplaned her and then I did the afterglow with the glow pins. And a second time, I dermaplaned her and then did afterglow with a microneedling device. That's a question that we get quite a bit is what is the difference? How do I play with this? How, if I already have a microneedling device, can I use the afterglow? And it's brought up some really interesting and fun conversations on that PDO track. We did decide pretty unanimously that we like the glow pins better. And the
Most of the
reason
time.
for that was because with a traditional microneedling device, I was always taught to kind of do the basket weave, right? So we're going
Mhm.
this way, we're going this way, and then we're crossing. And the drag, the product, it you don't want it to dry up and you don't want it.
Mhm.
So if you apply it to the whole face and you're over here, it's going to dry up and it's not going to be the same.
Right, right.
So with the stamper, having it inside of there that you can dispense it, um, it just feels like it goes in better and it doesn't have this like a drag almost that the
No,
microneedling device
exactly.
has.
Hmm. Hmm. It's
Not that
it's
you can't
direct
do it,
infusion.
but just, yeah.
Right, right, absolutely. But it's direct infusion. Not having to have to numb is also very helpful in time management and product use. So I've seen some of your growth factor members be very successful with implementing this without the microneedling, adding it on to some amazing services. They're doing laser treatments, they're incorporating combo just very creative treatments for results oriented treatment plans. And so that's where I've seen also some of the feedback that they've given me about doing three treatment series. So at some of these events, they are selling this or upselling the afterglow on top of maybe a laser treatment program that they have customized for an actual guest and saying, let's start with this, but this is what's going to boost it. And Afterglow is one of those just amazing products that would really highlight the age management results that a client is looking for. So
Yeah,
I
and
love that we have that synergy of options for sure.
I think it's a really unique treatment because as long as you're, depending on what your scope of practice is in the state, it's open to any esthetician
Mhm.
that you're allowed to use. Every state is going to be different, but it's not, it just gives a nice freedom. And we've seen even in states where you can do, just the 0.25, we've had a lot of those ladies doing the tests and playing with it, and they're getting phenomenal results as well, where they're seeing it's a great treatment before weddings or events or anything like that, where you get this very dewy glow and almost uh, it almost feels like the skin is a little bit thicker. If I don't know the best way to describe it. But for me, as a 42-year-old woman, there's elasticity is something that we're worrying about in our 40s. And it just, everything feels a little more plump and a little more tight.
Absolutely. And that's what I also feel personally after 3 weeks of having the Glow Pen Afterglow treatment done. That's where you see the progressive result of it. And so that's another piece that I've even just spoke with one of your members this morning about tracking that success and having the client take a picture at that third week and just see the difference in the plumpness. We hear that a lot, the glow, and sometimes that's around the language that they're using on social media about it and really getting the feedback from their clients on what are some things that you're feeling? How are you what is the difference that it's made on your skin? And we hear that. And so they're listening to their clients and using that terminology in their social media and how they promote it, which is great.
And I love the imaging. So anytime if you have an imaging device like the Sunlight Pro or any of these, Visia, Reveal,
Yeah.
whatever,
Hmm.
we're fans of Image, but whatever works for you is great. Take pictures with a device because if you're just using your iPhone or just using, you get such better measurable results, and your patients will be thrilled to see the data that you get from an actual imaging device, especially with services that you have to do in series. Because people don't remember, this is something that you do a series of 3 a month apart. They don't remember what
Hmm.
they looked like on the
No,
first treatment.
exactly.
And so when you can
Exactly.
compare a month out after that third one to their very first treatment, they're going to be like, wow, that is amazing.
Hmm.
And what
That's
an
a great
incredible gift
reminder.
to be able to give them, their
Hmm.
images right next to each other.
Yeah, that progress. Absolutely. So, what would you say the biggest question or most frequent question is that a member might ask you about incorporating Afterglow and Glowpin into their practice? Maybe when they first join or have just newly been really committed to the Growth Factor program again. So now they're getting this offer. What are some questions that you get asked that you see pretty frequently?
I think the most common question is really wanting to differentiate between Afterglow with the glow pin and microneedling. And at first, they seem very, very similar. But I would look at Afterglow with the glow pins. I would position it as a completely different service. You're not going to do either or. I would position it as that is your treatment, and that is your treatment for dewiness, for tone, for we're not dealing with acne scars when we're using the glow pins, right? This is it's for something separate. And so really kind of keeping the language, the marketing, the treatments as two different things. They can both coexist. They both have their purposes. And like most providers, you like to have a lot of tools in your toolbox. And there are going to be things that microneedling is phenomenal for, and there's going to be things that you just go straight to Afterglow with Glowpin. So I think really playing with it and understanding the difference for yourself. Do a treatment with the glow pins, do a treatment with the microneedling, take pictures, use the
Mhm.
imaging device to understand the difference. But I would just position them as two totally separate services.
Absolutely. And the other part that we work closely with our accounts is how to put it into a menu so that it isn't a standalone treatment itself, but that it has its enhancement, its booster, and understanding the science behind it, needing a channel, but understanding that it can be a really great post treatment once those channels are open, depending on the lasers that you're working with, and even the client that you work with that I spoke with this morning, they have an IPL. So they're doing IPL, then they're taking the glow pin, opening up that channel, and infusing that PDO afterglow. What an amazing synergy of
Oh, there's
treatment.
so many things you can do to play around with it. It's
Yeah.
really something that's unique and different in our industry. And so just playing, even with the dermaplaning and even with just really getting comfortable with the product, with the texture, with you really don't need a ton. I learned that the first time. I was like, what is all this white flaky stuff? And they're like, you used way too
Way too
much.
much.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, good to know. Um, but you really can get a phenomenal result with a smaller, you just want a thin layer on there. So I
Yeah.
think for sure using it as an upgrade or an add-on to your other services, get creative. In Growth Factor, one of the things we're really excited and passionate about is increasing that revenue per hour per room. And so this is a very quick service. I think you can do the whole service in an extra 15 minutes, no problem. And some people can probably go even faster than that. And so really incorporating it in a way that you can have a great profit margin without really adding that much time. And, oftentimes when we're looking at can I hit 1 million? Can I hit 2 million? Can I hit 5 million? It's all these little tweaks that we make. It's not buying one device and that, changes our life. It's looking at the times allotted for treatments. It's increasing the prices in accordance with your, what your margins based on consumable cost. There's so many little pieces that we can do, and having an upgrade option that provides great value to the patient, that has a phenomenal profit margin, and is going to get great results is a win-win-win for
Yeah.
everybody involved.
And I really, of course, I work with other accounts that are not part of the Growth Factor program. And where I see the biggest difference, honestly, is when someone is working with me from the Growth Factor program, they already get that piece. They are running with the idea of understanding the profit margin on this, seeing this high ROI immediately. And in their minds, they're
We
already
love
trained. You've
numbers.
already
We
trained
love
them.
numbers.
So you've already trained them to get to that point, and that's the biggest difference I see, when I'm speaking to a growth factor member, is we're talking about that. We're talking about how to implement it, the time that it takes, which sometimes isn't added on time. It's just added on into the service that's already booked, that's there, they're there. Utilize that time to the best ability to get the best results for those skin goals. So I love talking with those growth factor members because we're already over so many steps ahead. So they're running with it. And some of them are even coming with me some with ideas of the next event and what will happen if we could incorporate this. I love that. I love that creativity and that we're always thinking outside of the box. And I know that that's something that you tend to do and inspire in others, and why we really feel honored that you work with PDO Max because we're really seeing the needle move with the growth of AfterGlow and Glowpin, especially in the aesthetic med spa market.
Well, it's
So
a
thank
great
you.
product. It's a great product. And, I think what I want to kind of add to that is for so many of us, if we are a provider, if you're an esthetician, if you're a nurse, you go to school because you want to help people. You love the industry. You're not going to school thinking, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be a CEO. We're learning how to master our skills. So there's an identity shift that happens when you choose to go out on your own. And that identity shift from provider in the room solving our patients' problems into CEO, entrepreneur, really leading the company and solving many patients' problems instead of, just being in that room is a big shift. And when you learn how to do that and learn how to understand the profit margin of services and learn how to understand the impact that it's going to make for your team and how if we do this, we can pay our team a little bit more. If we do this, we can invest in this, or we can, all of these different types of things. And that's one of the main reasons that we chose the partners that we wanted to choose is that they have the relationships there to support these individuals that are just pouring blood, sweat, and tears into, I have never met a provider that doesn't just absolutely adore their clients and their patients, and they are nurturers and givers and all of these things. And we wanted to partner with other companies like PDO Max that are truly there to support and have the profit margin to allow those accounts to really grow and really thrive.
And that's really what prompted me to want to get on here and have a conversation because on a level of the even the accounts that we have from PDO Max that have now joined the Growth Factor program, the feedback that we're hearing from them, one of our trainers is already seeing, an increase in her revenue after working with you. And one of our top estheticians that has even spoken for us with Afterglow has joined your program. And she's raving about what she's learning. And so I want to do that more for our PDO Max customers and share with them the value that Growth Factor has to get their business growing because then we are all growing and thriving. And 2024 is going to be such an amazing year. We have planned it, we feel it. So I really want to spread that word and why I felt the need for us to get on a call like this, share this with our accounts to share the value and some of the success stories already. Just working with you, maybe it's perhaps been 6 months, not even that. So we're just giving the surface of great success stories.
Yes, well, thank you so much. It's really an honor. I love when a woman sees what she's actually capable of. And that's when we move past those money blocks and all of those different things that are holding us back, and we realize how incredible we are. It's such a gift and such a joy for me to see those women just thrive and just be confident in who they are because they're so incredible.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. That's what keeps us going and keeps us growing.
Yes.
Definitely. It's inspiring. Well, thank you, Daniela. Please share with the audience how they can get more information. We've done a webinar with Geo, and you've been on our Take It to the Max, and Geo's also been a guest at your podcast.
Mhm.
So there's a couple of different ways we've been contacted, but please share us what's the best way to get more information about Growth Factor.
Oh, well, you can go to our website, addoaesthetics.com, or you can message us on Instagram. We've always got somebody there in the DMs. Whatever's the easiest for you. We are at Addo Aesthetics on Facebook, Instagram, and over on our website.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much and Happy New Year.
Happy
I
New
am so
Year.
excited what the year has to bring for us. Thank you.
Me as well. Thank you.